Hello everybody, welcome to Melvin's Kitchen again. It's February 26, 2018, and I'm just trying to create a little quick video of a simple meal. It's not my typical baking, nothing fancy, just a nice little meal that anybody can make. I hear a lot of guys saying, well, I don't know how to cook. Well, anybody can follow directions, and I'm going to start you out with a simple tuna casserole. Now, first things first, I need to come out of this suit here, and I need to prepare myself. There's no coat rack in my kitchen, so I'll place it on the counter. Roll my sleeves up here, and get ready for some tuna casserole here, okay? Once you watch my tuna casserole video, you will be equipped with one meal under your belt. Alright, first things first, we're going to turn this oven on. We'll give it about a temperature of I'll say about 400 degrees. Give it a little prep time warm up. Actually 10 minutes is good. So while the oven is warming up, I'll be making the pasta noodles. We're going to put this on. Oh, get my fire going. Is my fire in there? It's hard to see. Yes, it is. To get this water boiling nicely, I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here. Not too much, just a little bit. I think that's enough. Just to get that rapid boil going on. Alright, I don't have a tripod, so it might get a little shaky, bear with me. Now, the ingredients are very simple. We're going to use some cream of mushroom soup. Normally I get 2 cans, but I couldn't find 2, so I picked up a large can. Okay, 22-ounce can. 1 can of sweet peas. Del Monte, doesn't really matter, but make sure they're sweet peas, okay? And this is about a 16-ounce can, 15-ounce can. To butter our noodles, we're going to use a little bit of the Land O'Lakes butter. Use any kind you like, but I like this because it's sweet cream and salted. And I'm only going to use about that much. I just wanted to show you the package there. The noodles we're using is some Mueller's, however you say it. Nothing fancy again, and this is a package of noodles, 12 ounces. We're going to get these going once my water gets to boiling. I'm going to take my handy dandy can opener and just get this can prepped. So that way, when the water is boiling, finished boiling, I'll be ready for it. Alright. We'll have everything ready on standby. The peas, you probably will want to drain them. But I won't drain them right now, but they will get drained later. Alright, we're having a watched pot syndrome going on over here. And if you've ever heard a watched pot never boils, well, that's what's going on over here. So we're going to add these noodles in here anyway. I'm going to add the whole bag. And it should start boiling in a few minutes. But I had enough of waiting for this pot to boil. Maybe the noodles will assist us in the boiling. Now when that starts to boil, we're going to let those noodles boil for about, I'll say, 12 minutes from the boiling point, okay? I've heard that if you place this wooden spoon over top of the boiling pot that it will not overflow, but we'll find out. And unfortunately, I do not have anyone to hold the camera for me, so it is just me, and I'm watching that heat so I don't get burned. Well, now that the noodles are boiling pretty much, they're not boiling as much as I wanted them to, but I'll set the timer to about 12 minutes, and then we will begin the next step. Alright, the timer's going off here. Let's turn that off. Actually, I need to reset it one more time, because this timer is also my baking timer. We'll give it about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, let me turn my heat off here. We're boiling pretty good over here. And you don't want to overcook the noodles for sure. So about 12 to 14 minutes after the boiling starts, you want to turn it off. Okay, fire's off. Okay, gentlemen, this is where the fun begins, and you see how simple this is. I will drain my noodles, of course. We don't want a whole bunch of water in there. Okay, now that I drained my noodles, I'm going to place them in a big pot. And we're going to put that butter in here. Alright. Just about this much butter. Maybe that's about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. And we're just going to mix that up in there, let it get all hot and melt it. I'll let it sit there for a little bit. And then I can keep on spinning it around. Get those noodles buttered up. Now there's nothing hard about this at all. Very quick. Takes about 20 minutes prep time, and then slap it inside the oven. Now those noodles are good. Since I have the noodle pan already in the sink, we're going to just spray this little pan. A little 9x13 baking pan. Give it a nice little spray of some canola oil. That'll prevent any sticking. So our next thing is to add our cream of mushroom soup. I really wish I had my assistant here, but my assistant is in college. 2nd year in college, so it's just myself today. But I believe you can see how that sits in here. We're going to get that mixed up very nicely. We're also going to add some black pepper in here. No salt. No salt at all. We're going to sprinkle some black pepper in there. Now you may not be able to see how much I'm sprinkling, but it's not that much. Just enough to coat the top of the noodles. Like a nice little sheet of black pepper. I don't want too much black pepper. But no salt. Oh my gosh. I put salt in some tuna fish one time, and it was not a good experience. So we only put pepper in our tuna casserole. Mix it up real nicely. Next we're going to put the green peas in there. Just 1 can of green peas. Mix that up very nicely. And the next ingredient, you guessed it, will be some tuna. Preferably star-kissed tuna in vegetable oil, because it gets the tuna nice and moist. But if you don't have it, you can get it in the water as well, but I prefer it in the vegetable oil. Now that's very nice and mixed up. And let me get my tuna opened up. And I'll be honest with you, my tuna is actually not here. I just sent for it, and it will be here very shortly. That was an oversight on my part, but it will be coming from the store soon. Alright, we're about to put this tuna in. First thing we're going to do is drain all of the vegetable oil out of there. Let me come over here to the side. Drain all that oil out. The best tuna is the one that comes in vegetable oil, but you don't necessarily want all the oil in your tuna. Okay? So, I'm going to drain it. Dump it right in there. Make sure you scrape out all of the remaining tuna, because it's going to be better that way. And we shall resume with the tuna. Now, you want to put about 18 ounces of tuna in there. The way it happened today, we're going to have 20 ounces of tuna in here, because the only thing available was these small cans, and that's A-okay. As long as we get our 18 ounces, and today we'll get 20 ounces. Now I'm going to make a nice pile in there. And let me look in this lens, make sure you can see what's going on over here. I don't want to block the lens there. Now that's a lot of tuna. Looks like a lot of tuna. And if it looks like it, then it probably is. So what we're going to do now is start mixing this tuna up. place your spoon at the bottom and kind of suck it down so you don't flick your tuna and waste it. I mean, you can do it with that however you please, but if you don't want to waste that valuable tuna, aim that spoon at the bottom and draw that tuna down into it. Kind of like a washing machine. Now, my pepper was already in there. I don't think I need any more pepper, but just to be safe, because this is a large pan of tuna casserole, I'm going to add a little bit more black pepper in there. Okay, where's my black pepper? I believe I put it up, but it's only a few steps away. So here we go. A little bit more black pepper, not that much. You can't see it in the camera, but I can see it. And remember, no salt in the tuna. You will not be pleased if you put salt, only black pepper. Now we're going to transfer this into our previously sprayed pan, and we're going to simply put it in the oven, bake it at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and then we're going to top it with a layer of cheese and put it back in the oven with no heat, with no temperature on there. We're just going to put it back in that warm oven covered in aluminum foil, and that cheese is going to melt nicely. So for right now, I'll place you on pause. You won't even know you're on pause. It'll be like a shot of Novocaine. And we're back in action again. Our tuna casserole has been mixed all up. I'm trying to find the right angle so you can see what I'm doing. But we're just going to put this in this already greased pan. Let it slide right down in there. And this is enough to feed a couple of hungry souls. Get inside that pan if you can see that. You're going to have your vegetables, your meat, your starch. That's a meal right there, man. And your cheese. So we're going to mix this all up. Well, it's already mixed up actually. We're going to spread it out. I didn't know how much I had there. That's a large amount. But it goes very, very fast because it is delicious. It's not a $200 meal at Ruth Chris. It's not even a $50 meal, but it tastes like one. While you were out on your Novocaine break, my battery went dead. So I smoothed everything out with my nice wooden spoon, and now we're going to place this in the oven. We're going to place this casserole in the oven on the center rack here. Watch your hands. Push it all the way in there. And in about 36 minutes, we will top it with some cheese. As you can hear, our timer is going off. And while you were sleeping, I did a switcheroo on you. Let's see here. See if you noticed the switcheroo when you were out in your Novocaine. That's right. I put on some aluminum foil so the tuna casserole will not dry out. Bring your eyes up here. Slide it up closer. And I can hear that tuna casserole just a-singing away. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to put some cheese on it. See, is it still in the field of view? Let us see. There we go. Alright. The casserole is over there singing. We're going to get some cheese over here. And that cheese is going to melt. I turned off the oven temperature. But we're going to actually stick it back in the oven just to get a nice smooth blend of the cheese. Alright. Use whatever type of cheese that you like to use. I use the typical Kraft American cheese. And we're just going to cover this whole top with some cheese there. And again, this whole dish, probably from start to finish, is probably less than an hour, but it's not complicated at all. You saw everything I did, from boiling my noodles to adding my peas and my tuna and a little black pepper Put it in the oven for a little bit. I think I need some more cheese here. In the oven for about 35-40 minutes. Take it out, add your cheese, and you are going to have your, so make sure all the plastic is off your cheese now. That would not be cool because you'd have melted plastic. So we want to cover that best we can. And if you notice how that cheese is already melting itself in there, see the little bubbles? It's melting very nicely. Because everyone who gets a slice of this is going to want to have a little cheese in their slice of tuna casserole. Now this is my mother's special. We grew up on it. I love it. Tastes very good. And I believe you'll like it. And all I'm going to do is take this aluminum foil that's remaining. This little piece of cheese tried to get away from me, but nobody gets away from me. Okay. We're going to cover that, put it back in the oven for probably about 5 more minutes. We'll set this timer. About 5 minutes. See now, the cheese has melted, forming a smooth layer over the tuna casserole. And the only thing now is to give that cheese about 4 or 5 more minutes to just kind of thicken and then scoop away. The only thing left to do here is to open it up, start the surgery, pull out a nice square there. Notice how that cheese has formed now. Oh, look at that. Toasted brown edges. And make yourself at home. That is Melvin's tuna casserole. I don't mind sharing my recipe. And this serving right here should be enough for about a 100-pound man. Enjoy yourself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Melvin's Kitchen. You now know how to make tuna casserole, so enjoy.